With the recent announcement of Titan Quest coming to consoles, the decade-old hack-and-slash RPG by THQ Nordic, more gamers will get to share in the many hours of enjoyment that PC gamers have up until now kept to themselves. RPG enthusiasts, especially anyone who has a love affair with Blizzard's Diablo franchise, consider this to be the best clone ever made. So much so, in fact, that there are numerous articles around the internet asking, where the hell is Titan Quest 2? So in this video, I want to highlight why both console gamers and fans of the series should be excited about this relic of the past. What is Titan Quest? Titan Quest is a hack-and-slash style isometric RPG that was released for the PC platform all the way back in June of 2006. The game featured a combat system relatively similar to the aforementioned Diablo, a game where players mowed down hordes of enemies, acquired loot, went after more challenging enemies, and received additional but better loot. And just like Diablo, players had a health and mana pool as well as skills which they can unlock as they gain levels. What separates Titan Quest from Diablo boils down to two aspects: the mythos of the game and its skill trees. Unlike Diablo's Angels and Demons premise, Titan Quest uses the broad mythologies and legends of ancient history. Greek, Egyptian, Chinese, and even Norse are all included, having you face many of the monsters you've likely read about in your childhood. Equipment are also named and molded after each of the various regions' history, so when you acquire powerful artifacts and gear, they are appropriately themed, such as the Nordic Ragnarok blade and the classic Roman short sword, the gladius. Second, the skill trees in the game offer unique character building that has much more diversity than Diablo, especially when compared with Diablo 3. Players can choose from one of the 9 different skill trees after their first level, and when they hit level 8, they can select a second skill tree, allowing for a total of 72 possible combinations. This allows for extreme replayability and flexibility, tempting players to try out other builds and test other styles of play. And because loot in the game is shared between all of your characters, you can save that one amazing weapon which dropped for your Templar, but is better suited for your Paladin. Combined, these two things make Titan Quest one of the most played games in my video gaming career, and I have made over 40 different characters. And when you add in that multiplayer aspect, the game just gets even better. The graphics weren't too shabby either, especially when the game first released 10 years ago. Anyone who has played Diablo or any one of those types of games will tell you that the most annoying thing about them would be the need to constantly click just to get your character moving. Now, this isn't the worst thing in the world and isn't game-breaking by any means, but after many hours of playing, it can wear on you. So when Blizzard brought Diablo 3 to consoles and assigned movement to analog sticks, it changed everything, which allowed for more fluid combat and gameplay. You certainly don't get that precise aiming that you do on PC, but when done well like Diablo 3, it's a winning trade for easier control. On top of this, console players new to the series will be playing with the Immortal Throne expansion from the get-go. This add-on was similar to something like Bloodborne's The Old Hunters DLC, in that it not only added new content, but it drastically enhanced the game. And just like The Old Hunters, it made veterans of the game wish it had been there from the start, so they could have had it as part of their first experience. Another thing to mention is that the online community will be hopping at release. Thousands of people will be playing simultaneously, all of whom will be starting new characters, and it'll be in many ways similar to the Souls franchise in that regard. You will want to play when everyone else is just starting out so that you don't get murdered by Uber Twinks, or in the case of Titan Quest, just being carried by some high-level character that deals 100 times more damage than you. Lastly, THQ Nordic has stated that they have enhanced the game's graphics. Now, we don't know exactly how it'll look just yet, but as mentioned prior, it didn't look too bad before. In fact, it still holds up, even by modern video game standards, and you would honestly think it was made only a few years ago when you compare it to games like Path of Exile or Van Helsing, if you didn't know any better. Additionally, when the game first came out, I couldn't run it with high visual settings on my gaming computer at the time. In short, this won't be an issue for players. It is extremely interesting that the game recently got a new update just a month ago after 10 years, and now, just down the road, a console release. Players have been clamoring for a sequel for the game for years as stated above, but THQ did not want to make another PC-only game at the time, and Iron Lore couldn't get another backer because THQ owned the rights. This seems to now be rectified because the game is coming to consoles, and it is very likely that the fate of a sequel hangs on the success or failure of this endeavor. It's all very exciting to think about, and having things to look forward to is something RPG enthusiasts desperately need in 2018. It's not to say there aren't any quality games coming, Monster Hunter World, Kingdom Come Deliverance, etc. It's just that there's a shocking lack of titles lined up beyond that. I literally can't think of a good RPG coming in Q3 or Q4 of next year. So for now, we'll take what we can get, and we'll probably still be playing Titan Quest by then anyway.